The Duke and Duchess of Sussex took to the stage at Global Citizen Live in New York's Central Park. Shows are being held in cities around the world to call on leaders to adopt a vaccine equity policy. Meghan looked glamorous in a white dress and black stilettos, while Harry was smart in a suit and shirt. The couple, who quit royal duties last year for a new life in California, held hands as they stood on stage and addressed the crowd. At one point Harry put his arm around Meghan as they both smiled. Other stars at Global Citizen Live include Ed Sheeran, Sir Elton John, Kylie Minogue, Metallica and Coldplay. Sharing how to engage on issues we care about deeply: climate action, women's economic empowerment, mental well-being, youth engagement and vaccine equity. At the event, the guests are urging first world countries to donate 1 billion doses of COVID-19 vaccines. Harry and Meghan spoke to the crowds at Global Citizen Live in New York. Prince Harry said, "Hello and good evening, global citizens. Look at all of us here, 60,000 strong here in New York City. Are we prepared to do what's necessary to end this pandemic?" Meghan said, "Hi everybody. It is so good to be back here with all of you. We know that it feels like this pandemic has been going on forever. We get it. It is a lot. And some people are just over it. But if everyone's over it, it's never going to be over. There is so much that we can do today, now, that can get us closer to ending the pandemic, and that's why we're all here. We're able to be here tonight because the most brilliant scientists, researchers, frontline workers and selfless public health leaders have risked their lives to protect our global community. They are our humanitarian heroes." Harry said, "Since this pandemic began, we've been talking to experts about how we can do our part. This week we sat with independent global health leaders to further understand how we get closer to vaccine equity and ending this health crisis. But we're battling more than this virus alone. This is a battle of misinformation, bureaucracy, lack of transparency and lack of access. Above all, this is a human rights crisis." Meghan added, "Every single person in this planet has a fundamental right to get this vaccine. That's a point, but that is not happening. And while in this country and many others you can go almost anywhere and get vaccinated, billions of people around the world cannot. This year the world is meant to reach the target of vaccinating 70% of people in every single country. But it is wrong that so many of the vaccine supply has only gone to 10 wealthy nations so far and not everyone else. It's just not okay." Prince Harry added, "We have what we need to vaccinate the world. But the experts told us here's what's getting in the way. They said many countries are ready to produce vaccines at home, but they aren't allowed to because ultra-wealthy pharmaceutical companies are not sharing the recipes to make them. These countries have the means, the ability, and the workers to start manufacturing. All they are waiting for is the vaccine intellectual property to be waived and for the vaccine technology to be transferred over. And by the way, many of these vaccines were publicly funded. They are your vaccines. You paid for them." Meghan continued, "And when we view this as a humanitarian crisis, which it is, control over a vaccine that can help save lives should not be solely in the hands of the fortunate few." The prince said, "Experts also told us that doses are being bought up and stockpiled by wealthy nations and sent later to developing countries, often when they're close to expiration, when it's already too late. Dose-sharing commitments are so important and appreciated, but this cannot just be a charity operation. It's a fundamental human rights issue." Meghan concluded, "And finally, in our conversations these experts shared that how the vaccine is distributed and who it is distributed to should be left to independent international organizations who know exactly where the doses are most needed. Just think about the millions of vaccines which have been discarded this year. That's like throwing away life vests when those around you are drowning." Prince Harry added, "So where does that leave us? My wife and I believe that where you are born should not dictate your ability to survive." The Duchess of Sussex said, "Especially when the treatments exist to keep you safe." Harry said, "So global citizens, we ask you tonight. Do you think we should start treating access to the vaccine as a basic human right? Thank you. When we start making decisions through that lens where every single person deserves equal access to the vaccine, then we can achieve what is needed together for all of us. They have had a busy time touring the Big Apple. On Thursday, the Sussexes visited the city's One World Trade Center, built on the site of the Twin Towers which were destroyed in the September 11 attacks. They posed for the media at the top of the skyscraper against the panoramic backdrop, alongside New York City Mayor Bill de Blasio and Governor of New York State Kathy Hochul on Thursday morning.